Hey, it's Kenan from the Church Cheapskates. Today we're going to do Mevo tips and tricks. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the Why Livestream videos and the What Mevo videos to kind of get an idea of why we think your churches should be live streaming and also what on earth a Mevo camera actually is. So I'd like to share with you some tips and tricks we've learned by making mistakes on the Mevo camera. So first of all, if you're using a phone or an iPad or anything like that to communicate with the Mevo, make sure that you have a fast router. We had an old router laying around. We thought, hey, we could put this into use. Unfortunately, it just wasn't fast enough. Because you got to remember, the Mevo is connecting with the phone is connecting with the Mevo, then the Mevo is connecting with the internet. So you've got to make sure you've got a router that's able to handle that communication going back and forth fast enough. So what we ended up doing is we ended up buying a gigabit router. Haven't had a single problem since then. Another thing is that most people don't care about having a camera right in the middle of the worship service. Most people, in fact, think that it's a condenser microphone just hanging out at the front of the stage. On a note about Wi-Fi, make sure that your internet is fast enough. Now, if you call your local internet provider and you mention you'll be live streaming, they'll say, oh, well, you need a gigabit connection or you need so many hundreds of megabytes. I'm just going to let you know, we have a 100 megabyte connection, haven't had a single problem. As you probably know by now, Mevo can automatically find and select faces and follow them across the stage. Here's Mevo's setting where it's automatically finding my face. As you can see on the screen, it has this blue box around my face, as you can tell that it's finding it. Now, if I stand up, it should adjust eventually. As you can see, there's a blue box around my face. If I start moving this way, the camera should move with me, ever so slowly. One thing I don't like about this automatic face finding feature that Mevo has is it creates this large space above the head. It always puts the face directly in the center of the shot. Personally, I like there to be a small amount of space above the shot, but I definitely don't like the face to be in the middle. It's a personal preference, I understand. Chad doesn't mind it at all. But one tip that we have is every week I pre-set up the shots. Now the way you do this is you push and hold on the location you want to be. For instance, if we want it to be on the piano, I push and hold, and it creates that yellow box that you see right there. And then we can move in that shot. So I can poke on my face here, there's a box there, poke on the box there. And that's how I like to set up the shot. Now what I do is I turn on the automatic autopilot without the find faces and the live follow feature. So by doing that, it will automatically cycle, based off of how quickly we've set it for, it'll automatically cycle through the various shots that we've had set up. So it's zoomed in my face, it's gone the wide shot, back to my face. In a second it should pan over to the piano. There it goes. And this is something that I like to do during the worship time. I like to set up the shots, one with the piano and the vocalist, and one with the worship leader, one over here with the vocalist, and maybe the guitar player, and then just have it cycle through. It'll do a large shot, and then it'll come down and cycle through the various vocalists. And it's just a really easy way to have it automatically do the hard work for you. Like I said, I like to set up the shots ahead of time. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you're fine with having the face in the middle of the shot, by all means, just do the find faces and the autopilot, and it'll just go right through there for you. Another interesting thing that I've discovered, and this is actually not through personal experience, but by looking at videos. I noticed that sometimes it would take longer to pan than other times. Well, while looking at tips and tricks videos from across YouTube, I found that the longer that it takes to change a shot, the slower the pan will be. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to zoom out, move it over here. I'm going to hold it there for a second. And when I let go, it should take a pretty long time to pan out. Now I'm just going to zoom right in. And it should right in there. Another thing that you should know is how to erase a shot. Maybe you've created a shot on accident by pushing and holding too long. All you have to do is push and hold the square, and it will erase the shot. And in fact, it doesn't even necessarily pan it. So I'm going to do that right now. Push and hold, square gets large, goes away, and it didn't even pan. Last but not least is a thought about external audio sources. If you saw our What Mevo video, then you heard me talk about how you can plug in an external microphone via USB on the back. There is another way, and that is through the iPhone's 3.5mm jack, if your phone has one, but that's another story for a different day. If you want to learn more about what kind of adapter to have for your phone, check out Josue Padilla's video that I will be linking in the description below. He talks about the kind of adapter you need, how to hook it up. I think it's pretty informative. Also, I'm going to add the link to the playlist for the official Mevo tutorials from Livestream. They go over a wide range of topics and are really informative. Like I said, be sure to check out our Why Livestream and What Mevo videos if you haven't already. And if you think this is helpful, go ahead and share it with your team members.